Here we are at part 9 of Muscles, the Upper Extremity, and we are going to take a look at the hand. As you can see here and here, we're going to go from superficial to deeper and deeper. Okay, so the hand is very interesting, especially for those of you of the PT and OT persuasions and orthopedically persuaded, especially if you work with an orthopedic surgeon specializing in the upper extremity. We're going to begin with muscles of the thenar. Thenar is the ball of the thumb. So on the thumb side, we have a ball of muscle at the base of the palm, and it's called the thenar. Okay, if we come down here, this is the hypothenar. It's the ball of the palm of the hand near on the little finger side, the fifth finger side. So starting here, we have Abductor Pollicis, Brevis. Remember, we saw the longest before. Let's take a look over here. So as we go from superficial to deep, so we're just underneath the first layer of palmar aponeurosis, and we have these two muscles here on the thummy side. Okay, so this one is an abductor. Remember that abductors, this is the longest down here, and it wraps the wrist a little bit. And this is the brevis right here. And here we have a hand, a right hand, and it's going to be flexion. And then abduction is 90 degrees away from flexion and extension. Okay, so 90 degrees is this way. So this is the abductor. Okay, the Abductor Pollicis. Okay, and then right here, coming up this line right here, we have the flexor. So we have the Flexor Pollicis brevis. Remember, we had the longest going all the way to the distal phalanx. The brevis only goes to the middle. Here's the Abductor Pollicis brevis. And let's take a look over here. We have abductor and flexor. They're both innervated by the median. So on the thumb side, we have median innervation, mostly, not entirely, but mostly. And of course, we have the things that I want you to know about these muscles, as besides the innervation, which is important because of carpal tunnel syndrome, we also need to really know the actions. And of course, abductor abducts, flexor flexes. So that's not too hard. Opponens pollicis, we have to go a little deeper. It's median innervation. It says occasionally innervated by the ulnar nerve, so there's some variety here. So as we go down a layer, here's the next layer down, and we have opponens. What does opponens do? Opponens brings us this way. Okay, so we get to have oppositions. Now, at the same level up here, if we're looking over here, we also have flexor, just the way you like it. We have opponents over here. So the digiti minimi is doing much the same as the pollix in this regard. So we have a lot of, how shall I say, homology between the two extremes here, finger 1, finger 5. So bear that in mind. Okay, then we also have the abductor. We have the abductor, the flexor, but all of this is down here. Abductor is going to be ulnar nerve. Flexor I'm going too fast. Flexor digiti minimi brevis is going to be the ulnar nerve. We flex the little finger. Opponens means that we bring it in opposition, and that's also the ulnar nerve, just the way you like it. Now notice with the thumb, pollix, we have abductor pollicis, and we're going to adduct and help to oppose the other fingers. Here we have ulnar nerve, so all the opponents, this entire gesture right here, both for the little finger and for the thumb, is entirely an ulnar experience. Okay, so that means that it cannot be damaged by carpal tunnel syndrome. Opponens is retained, even after carpal tunnel syndrome pathology. Important detail. Okay, so now we get down here to the palmar interosseous, as well as the dorsal interosseous. So palmar begins with a P, and we always remember pad, which means that these guys are going to bring the fingers together. Pad, pad, adduction. Whereas the dorsal interosseous, we use dab, D-A-B. So that means we're going to pull them apart. Dab, dab, abduction. Okay, so we're either going to do adduction with the palmar or abduction with the dorsal interosseous. Okay, so I have that listed on the very next page for us. Not too far. There we go. So we have pad and dab, just the way you like it. Okay, so palmar is pad. That means we're going to adduct. And remember, both of these are ulnar. When we get really deep in the hand, we get to ulnar. And a dorsal interosseous dab, that means we're abducting, again, ulnar. Now here's an interesting listing here, lumbricals. This is the Latin for earthworm. Okay, so let's look for 4 little earthworms here. Let's see if I can find them clearly for us. We have interossei. We have interossei. And we need to find lumbricals. These guys right here. Where are they pointing? There we go. The 4th lumbrical, the 3rd lumbrical, and here's another lumbrical here. All right, 2nd lumbrical, and the 1st lumbrical. So we have 4 lumbricals. Where are they arising from? They are arising from the tendon of the Flexor digitorum profundus. So they're actually arising from these deep tendons here. Where are they going? They're going on the back of the fingers, okay, to the extensor expansion. Let's look at that in print. Okay, so here we have lumbricals, and here we have origin. Origin is on the tendon of the Flexor digitorum profundus. Insertion is on the extensor expansion. Now, what does that look like when you flex? The MP joint. The MP joint is the metacarpal phalangeal joint. That's this one right here that has these knuckles. We're going to do this. We're going to do baby waves, just like this. That's the lumbrical action right there. Little baby waves. Okay, because we're going from deep in the palm to the back of each finger, and we're pulling the fingers down this way at the MP joint, just the way you like it. And then how do we innervate this? The median part next to the digiti minimi is going to be done by, oh no, this is the median nerve, not the median part. So the median nerve is going to do the lateral part, fingers 2 and 3. And then the ulnar nerve is going to do 4 and 5. So 2 and 3 are these two over here. 4 and 5 are these two here. So this is median, this is ulnar, just as you would expect. Okay, and that concludes our episode now. And we're all set with the upper extremity. We move on now to the lower extremity.